Jeffrey Dahmer was born in 1960 in Wisconsin. A very calm child, noticeably folded from his childhood. He was spending a long time alone and had no real friends. His father was a chemist, and his mother was suffering from severe psychological disorders. The house was full of tension and suffocations, and this created for Jeffrey a permanent sense of loneliness and isolation as a child. He began to show him a strange obsession with dead animals. He was collecting animal carcasses from the road, opening them and seeing what was inside them. The topic in the first place was a childish curiosity, but with time he turned to signs of death and control as a teenager. He began to drink alcohol very much, and this was because his behavior was the worst isolation. He increased, and his feelings became obsolete. And with the divorce of his parents, he completely collapsed psychologically. The first murder he committed was in 1978, when he was 18 years old. A young man named Stephen Hicks was killed after he took him home, under the pretext of drinking and music. And after the crime, he buried him in the backyard, and then, years, he returned to digging up bones, breaking them and throwing them, he destroyed. After that, he lived for years, moving between the army and living with his grandmother. In this period, his crimes began to escalate, but he always chose weak victims, young men, most of them minorities, lured them to his apartment under the pretext of photography, money, or drinks, and he drugged them and killed them and then kept parts of their bodies as a means of feeling full control. Dahmer was trying to make himself permanent companions, even if by death, and he believed that keeping the bodies or parts would prevent them from escaping from him in his apartment in Milwaukee. Neighbors complained a lot of strange smells and noise, but the police ignored the reports in one of the most dangerous moments. A young teenager escaped from his apartment while naked and injured. The police returned him to Dahmer after they did not believe his story. They are friends, and he was allowed to complete his crimes for years. His arrest happened by chance in 1991, when one of the victims was able to escape and stop the police. When they entered the apartment, they found terrifying pictures, bodies and parts preserved in the refrigerator. Dahmer admitted everything without resistance and revealed details that shocked the whole world. He was convicted of killing 17 young people and sentenced to life imprisonment several times. But his story ended in 1994 when he was killed by another prisoner in prison. Jeffrey Dahmer remained a symbol of the failure of society and the police in prison. Understanding mental illness and real danger, and preferring his name etched in history as one of America's most heinous serial killers.